the fake massacre at Racak was the reason for Rambouillet, and Rambouillet, the fake peace conference, was the basis for the bombing. So it all went in a line, but the line went even earlier because even in 1998, you were having, you had, for example, papers from the Serbian representative in Brussels. He got hold of the NATO plans for attacking Yugoslavia, which existed in 1998. And he got them such that he was able to warn in March 1999 when the thing was about to happen. And the Serbian army was able to, or the Federal Yugoslav army was able to withdraw forces in response to that information. So this information, the knowledge that NATO was going to bomb, was going to attack Yugoslavia, was well known, and it was a plan which didn't depend on any events just before the bombing began, of which we've agreed there were no events just before the bombing began. So we have a long-standing intent by the US and allies to do what they did. What the ultimate example of that is before the bombing, you had amazingly, you had Paddy Ashdown turning up by illegally into Serbia, into a Kosovo village to visit the KLA, where they had a huge stash of weapons. And Paddy Ashdown introduced himself to the. He looked at the weapons. He said, essentially, these weapons aren't much cop. They're not very good. I'm a special emissary or representative, or what it is he said. It's on video of the Prime Minister Tony Blair, and I've come here to help you kill Serbs. And that was just before the bombing. So this is when this material was shown at the Hague Tribunal. The entire prosecution team, which consisted of British lawyers, went completely silent. I gather, according to the Serbian lawyer, that was recounting the episode. But what I'm saying is that this whole thing had nothing to do with morality. It had everything to do with the American perception of what, or the Washington perception of what the US interest was, and getting NATO into line, getting Europe into line via NATO, building a massive, the biggest military base since Bondsteel in the heart of Europe, in this part of Serbia, not requiring EU permission henceforth to do to be in Europe, not requiring United Nations authorization as required under the UN Charter to engage in acts of aggression, so that the US had a whole raft of interests in establishing its unipolarity through the attack on the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, consisting of Serbia and Montenegro. And this was the reason, the real reason for the aggression against Yugoslavia, and not the moral one that the media were giving us incessantly and without checking.